I was supposed to make a vlog. I forgot to bring my GoPro. Oh boy!
No, I don't know how to do this.
Bryce is gonna bunny hop on the rollers. Say cheese, Bryce. Do something funny. You can't have it.
I just love the paint job.
How was the set today, Bryce?
Fantastic.
Fantastic?
Fantastic.
Wow. So what did we do today? We did
We biked.
biked.
And then we ran.
You didn't run.
I didn't run. You guys ran.
We did 3 times 6 minutes plus 2 minutes threshold, 2 minutes standing times 3, and then 3 1000s on 6 minute pace time. Is it really? I thought it would be good to keep it close so the audio is good, but
These things get you in shape. These bikes,
oh yeah,
man, I see, like, they ride for a long time, like on TV.
yeah, oh yeah, for
Those
sure.
guys have, like,
They ride all
shots,
day.
bro. Like, their legs are just
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. Crazy sport. I respect that.
thanks. Crap on videos. Just put the car stuff in. What's another stretch I can do real quick? That's all.
Put your butt in your face.
Bryce wants me to put my butt in my face.
Yeah.
Because that's what Bryce likes to do when he gets home. Me too. Look at this man's dirty bike here. Oh my gosh. So bad. Terrible bike. Honestly, just get rid of it. Right, Olivia? Get rid of it. Oh, she wants to leave. No, we need some content here for the YouTube channel. Do a backflip, Bryce. Whoa. That's not a backflip.
Alright, see you later.
Don't die. Is that garbage there? Is that your house, Bryce?
Yeah, do you want me to like do a barrel roll into it or something?
Yeah, you should. Oh my god! You had so much air. Wait, can you do that again?
Yeah.
Is that a one-time thing? Yeah. Oh my god. I'm impressed. Ooh!
What was that?
That sounded really nice.
That was my handlebars.
Oh, did they rotate down?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Either that or I just broke my frame.
I did that once actually. It just rotated the bars down. Cracked frame S Works for sale.
I hope I didn't break it.
4,000 bucks. I think you just twisted your bars.
Yeah, well, I definitely twisted my butt.
Yeah, that's probably what it was then.
Break my bar.
Whoa, I wonder who owns this car. It looks cool. Okay, bye, Bryce.
What's that creepy stuff that you put on carbon? Make it so...
Yeah, carbon compound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does that only work if you have a carbon stem too, or
No. Anything with carbon.
can I put carbon compound on it?
Definitely.
'Cause I don't. Like,
Yeah, you always should. On your seat post too.
do you have some?
Yeah.
Should I just buy some?
I think I have a little packet that I can give you.
How much is it? Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much is like a tube at all three go?
25 bucks, I think.
Maybe I should just buy my own.
Yeah, maybe.
How much do you have at, like, how much
I can give you like 2 or 3 packages from TheTriGuy if you want.
Like a sample set?
Well, like most carbon bikes come with a little like thing,
Oh yeah, okay, get that.
and we don't always use them. Yeah, come to the shop on Sunday. What is up, guys? So next up in today's video, I'm gonna be installing another part on my car. I got this engine damper. Essentially, my engine probably needs new motor mounts, and it kind of like shakes around a little bit too much. And instead of replacing the motor mounts, I just bought this because it was way cheaper. And it essentially just like attaches to a point on the engine and makes the engine shake around less. So technically, you're losing torque or whatever when the engine is moving, so it should make a little bit more torque. The main thing that I was worried about is that the engine just moves, and then inside the car the shifter actually kind of shakes around when you're driving really hard. On some of the ads it said it was for SR20s and KAs, which my car is a KA. And some of them said it fits on SRs and it doesn't fit on KAs, or it fits on KAs with modification. And they all look exactly the same. I bought one that said it fit on both, but it looks the same as the other one, so maybe we'll have to do a bit of modification. Shouldn't be a big deal. I have a welder and everything, so I could just adjust the bracket. So it did come with this, and then basically attaches to the strut tower on the driver's side, and then this part attaches to the engine with this thing in the middle. You'll see when we try to put it together, but there's a chance I might have to try to like fix or adjust this bracket so that it fits on my engine a little bit better, but it's all part of the game. So I'm gonna have to go pull the car out from under the cover again. Alright guys, so I've pretty clearly figured out now that this is basically just designed for an SR. The KA basically has no holes where the SR does for this bracket to mount to, where it would normally mount onto the engine. On the SR, there's like 2 holes right there to attach like a hook to pull the engine out, where the KA doesn't have holes there at all. So there's kind of not really any way to bolt this on. So I've basically come up with kind of 2 ideas here. I think I'm going to go with the second one, but my first idea was that right here on the valve cover, there's like 2 holes for the spark plug wires, and let's see here. So like these right here, these 2 bolts, they don't actually hold the valve cover on. They're just kind of threaded, and they're for these mounts that hold the spark plug wires. So I was thinking I could utilize those somehow and pass a bolt through, but that doesn't really seem very safe to me. It seems like those might be able to break pretty easily, and I don't want to break my valve cover because that would really suck to have to replace that. So the other thing that I can do, and I believe this is what I'm going to do today, is use the exhaust studs. So might be a little bit hard to see here, but the 2 holes almost line up. If I put it right through the end there, it's like just barely not fitting. So what I can do is basically just ovalize these holes out a little bit more, pretty much like right to the edge, and then I'm also gonna have to grind out a little portion kind of like right here, because or else it hits the tube and it doesn't quite reach the holes. Not a ton, but I will have to for sure. Alright, so I've set myself up here to basically just grind a small portion of this bracket out. So kind of right here is where it's going to hit the tubing of the exhaust manifold right there. So I'm just going to grind flapper disc out a little bit. Alright, so I've got it pretty much all the way ovaled out. I tested it a couple times, and I just did it. I think this is the last time I'm going to have to make them bigger. So I just kind of flapper disced over it after, just to make sure everything is smooth before I bolt it on. But as you can see, the holes had to come quite a bit further out. They were already ovalized, but I did bring them right to the side. Haven't actually tested it yet. Might have to bring them out a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure this should work. Boom. So there we go. We are pretty much ready. So now that I've got that off, I have this bracket that's going to go on there, and then we'll mock up the strut. I can see one thing that it looks like it might interfere with this box, which I think is part of the emissions system. Alright, so I've got this mocked up pretty well here. I'm going to have to tighten this down. So obviously this is going to come up a little bit. You can see that that is not quite touching, and this seems to be kind of maxed out. So there's a little bit of play in the joints here, but this one is pretty maxed out. It's actually touching the metal there. So I might have to bend this bracket just a little bit just to get that to reach there. Shouldn't be a big deal, but I can tell right away that this isn't touching that. So this box that I was a little bit worried about. So that's really good. And then this has some adjustment here, so I'm gonna have to lengthen it a little bit to reach that hole. All right, so I've been having a little issue here, just kind of test fitting up the thing. The bracket is basically not allowing the strut to swivel enough because this end piece is actually hitting the bracket, just because I guess the engine is a little bit lower than it would be in an SR, or the mount is. So I'm just gonna flapper off a little corner of this area here on the bracket just to allow the strut to move down a little bit more. Alright, so I got it completely installed now. Basically just that little notching of the bracket right there solved it, and I was able to get the piece to meet up there. It's pretty tight, but it looks good and it works. So there was some adjustment here. I had to use quite a bit of it. I wish there was a little bit more threaded in there, but it seems to be solid, and I don't think there's too much side to side play on there, so it shouldn't break anything, crossing my fingers. But yeah, so otherwise I think it looks really good. The top of my coilovers are red too, and it's like this anodized red, and it matches really well. I wish I didn't have so much like white overspray everywhere, but in general I think it just looks really good. Spices up the engine bay, and it should stop that vibration, or at least minimize it quite a bit. So I just threw the battery in, and I'm gonna try to start it. No clutch for this one because it's a race car. So right away I did notice when I started the car there, the whole car shook a little bit just when it started, which is kind of a good sign because it used to not do that. So before, it's probably the engine shaking on the engine mounts because they're a little bit looser. But now that there's that brace there, the whole car kind of shook. So obviously it doesn't quite feel as nice when you're sitting in it, but it's good in general for how the car's going to feel when I'm driving. So I think it's definitely doing something. Obviously it's not just for show, although it does look good. That brace is helping out. So I'll have to kind of update you guys later in the summer and tell you guys if it actually makes a difference when driving.